Hey, I love y'all. Okay, so this is part 6 of Ezekiel Bible Breakdown 35 to 42. So in chapter 35, Mount Seir held a grudge against the Israelites and delivered them to the sword. So God said that he will make them desolate, and they will also die by bloodshed. They were also boastful about the things happening to Israel. So God told them that they will also be desolate while the whole world rejoices. In chapter 36, because the nation of Israel became the object of people's malicious talk and slander, God spoke against the rest of the nations. He told them that they will also experience scorn, and Israel will be re-inhabited and restored. And God also told them the things that they did profaned his name. So the things that he is doing is for his name's sake and not for Israel. And once he proved himself to be holy and sovereign, then he will make them clean, and they will be restored and flourish. And the nations that remain will know that God rebuilt them. In chapter 37, God took Ezekiel to a valley, and in this valley it was full of bones. So God asked Ezekiel, "Can these bones live?" And Ezekiel replied, "Only you know." So God told Ezekiel to prophesy to the bones, and as Ezekiel was prophesying, the bones began to join together, and then the tendons and the flesh began to come upon them, and then the flesh covered them. So then God told Ezekiel to speak to the breath, and then the breath entered them. And then the bones became a vast army, and this represents the land of Israel. Then God told Ezekiel to take 2 sticks, one belonging to Judah and one belonging to Joseph, and to put them in one hand, right? And this represented the fact that they were once separated, but God will no longer allow them to be separated. He will join them together, and there will be one nation living in unity. In chapter 38, God told Ezekiel to prophesy to the land of Gog, that when the Israelites is restored, Gog and his allies will form an evil scheme to devour Israel. And God will allow them to come against them, so the other nations may know him. In this day, God will speak against the land of Gog. Swords will be drawn against brothers, plagues will happen, and storms will also happen. And then in chapter 39, God spoke against the land of Gog again. God told them the weapons will fall out of their hands. Them and the nations with them will fall and be given as food to animals, and Magog will be on the fire. And the people of Israel will use the land of Gog's weapons as fuel. And Israel will also bury Gog and the nations that were with them in the Israelites' land. And then God told Ezekiel to call out every bird and wild animal so they could feast on the dead. And God will have proven himself to be holy. And then in chapters 40 through 42, it goes into vast details about the temple being restored, the measurements for every room, and how it be rebuilt, and how it looks. Amen. I love y'all. Lord willing, y'all go back and read it for yourself so God can also give y'all revelation too. Amen. Love y'all.